Okay, so we are going to be doing printing with bleeding tissue paper. For this, all you need is your paper, bleeding tissue paper, and water. Now, not all paper is bleeding tissue paper, so it's really important to test it ahead of time. What I've done here, instead of just using a whole piece and stamping it, which I could do, I cut out some shapes. And I laid my shapes down in a pattern on the paper, and now I'm going to paint. I'm holding it down, and I'm painting with just water right over the bleeding tissue paper. Just like this, a little bit at a time. I'm kind of, not so much painting, I guess more blotting with my brush and trying to keep my water right on top of the tissue paper. And what's going to happen is the ink from the tissue paper is going to come right off. Now I'm going to peel this up. I'm not going to leave the tissue paper on there. It gives a really cool effect. See, the more water and the more you sand your edges, the more specific comes out, but I really like this effect right here. Now I'm going to do these. So if you don't cover the whole thing with water, sometimes you'll get that blank area showing up, which is kind of cool looking. Last one. Whoops. Okay, so that one didn't turn out quite as well, but let's lift them up. Take a look. So the cool thing is you never know how it's going to turn out. It gets kind of more abstract looking. It will get your hands a little bit dyed, but it'll come off eventually. The other type of technique we're going to be doing is putting water at the top of your paper so that you can kind of create a running effect with watercolor paint. So as you can see, I'm blotting clean water. It's important that it's clean. All the way across the top of my paper. I don't want it to be dry because it won't run, and the effect that I want is for my paint to run together. So lots of water. I can kind of bring it down a little bit. I want puddles of it. Effect number 2 is drawing on something with markers. They need to be washable markers. And I find that the darkest colors work best for this. I just drew, and now I'm going to take my water, I'm dabbing my brush off, and I'm painting right over top of my marker, and it turns it into paint, and I can fill in areas. Now, I'm not going to be able to spread it too far. It mainly kind of is good for filling in a space a little bit. But it's cool because I have very specific lines still.